Well, I hope you're keeping in great health. And in case you are an expectant mother, I do hope for a safe delivery of your child. Having just welcomed a child into this world recently and seeing firsthand what expectant mothers go through in the maternity ward, I have a newfound respect for mothers. And so they should be treated with care. And our medical facility should have all the necessary tools, and the doctor should be there and the equipment so that they can safely deliver these babies. Because it's a very, how can I say, it's a precious moment in the life of a woman to bring a child into this world. And so it should be treated as such, okay?
Okay.
Which is why it saddens me. What?
No, nothing. I just said, okay.
You're like, is this coming out of his mouth?
I know.
Come on, I'm not so bad. But, and in talking about this, it really saddens me to have to bring up the fact that there are some people who don't appreciate this very sensitive moment in a woman's life. Police in Entebbe over the weekend arrested an intern nurse at Entebbe Grade B hospital. He is accused of allegedly raping women, mostly those who were pregnant. So he was targeting women that he found in the maternity wards, and then he would drug them, and then he would rape them.
Yeah.
That's the allegation.
So that's the allegation.
Arrested him. Now, I'm not sure how it is that they found that he was doing this. I mean, if the women were unconscious, how is it that they apprehended him?
So it turns out, they say a thief has 40 days. So this one pregnant woman was told by the nurse that there was a procedure he had to do on her, but she needed to be unconscious, and she refused. When she refused, another one unfortunately said yes. And when she came to, she reported to police that she had been raped. And this one corroborated the story somehow.
But how would... Wait, had she not been administered a
chloroform?
Yes.
Yeah,
anesthetic of some kind?
It is said that if you have been used without your consent, you can actually know.
Used?
I'm trying to not to
like
say
sexually.
Yes, sexually abused. You will actually know something about you will be different, and that's what happened to this woman.
Aside from the obvious physical evidence that would be left behind after an encounter like that, because on the other hand, you have to consider that someone could imagine that this is what happened. It's not impossible for someone to think of it, because if this suspect were to hire a good lawyer, this lawyer would simply argue that the accounts of these ladies cannot be taken as evidence because they were under the influence of anesthetic.
But then
there would be reason to question their account of what happened.
But then again, let's talk about the anesthesia. First of all, as a nurse, that's not what he's supposed to do. That is supposed to be done by someone that is qualified to do that. Nurses are supposed to do after patient care. So, you have no business injecting people with any form of anesthesia to begin with.
So what you're saying is they reported the fact that this dude injected me.
No, there was the fact that he injected her. But like I said, if someone has had carnal knowledge of you, even when you're unconscious, when you wake up, there is going to be semen, and you know how it feels.
That's what I mean. Is that there's going to be that kind of evidence. And I'm saying aside from that, it may be quite challenging.
When a woman is raped, when she goes to police to report the case, the police they usually have doctors that are supposed to examine them and confirm that they were actually abused. First of all, if she was out, like if he had taken her out, she was asleep, it means she wasn't even lubricated. So they might find some sort of tears to show that something happened forcefully.
Well, if these allegations are true...
then chloroform was found in his house. And then the Askari says that they've been seeing pregnant women coming out of that room, and they were wondering what was going on.
Which room?
His room where he was taking the ladies. I don't know whether it is his room where he was sleeping, but it is a facility at the hospital.
This is where it gets tricky. When you say women were being taken out of his room, were they being wheeled in on a gurney?
No, he would tell the ladies, no, you go to the room. I think it was like an examination room. You go to the room. He has said there is a procedure that has to be done, and he has to inject you with chloroform. So you go, like, you're put to sleep. And then later, obviously, when you wake up, you have to leave the room. So people will see you leaving the room. And maybe people think the nurse was doing what he's supposed to do as a nurse, but he was up to something else. And then also in that room, the police found, I think in his message, where he had, in his phone, messages he had written to his pastor, asking him to pray for him because he has been having immoral thoughts and has been using pregnant women.
Oh my gosh.
Are you still asking for more evidence?
Looks like we have a confession on our hands here. So this dude, can you imagine it being the husband of one of these women? And you hear that this is what happened to your wife who had been admitted in the hospital? Yo, if the guy, I can imagine any husband would want to strangle this fool.
But also think about how unsafe a woman can be. I mean, a hospital is a place where you go to seek medical attention and you know that you're safe. If they tell you remove your dress, put on this uniform, you know that you're with a professional, you're in safe hands, only for you to be raped.
I think that's why it might be important for, you know, for men to be present and around and about the hospital.
Not it might. It is important.
Just to keep a watchful eye on some of the things that might be going on, or at the very least the lady could have family members, sisters.
But where is the man? Unless this man is working up country or he's out of the country, there is no reason why your woman should go for antenatal care without you. Hospitals, doctors have advised men to be present, to be to interact.
Oh, hang on a second. So were these victims inpatients or they were outpatients? They were
outpatients.
Oh,
you go to the clinic.
Oh my gosh.
For outpatient services, and then someone does this to you.
Oh my, because in antenatal normally, like, they'll do the scans, or they may even want to examine the interior of the lady.
Exactly.
Okay, and that usually does not require any form of anesthetic.
No, it doesn't.
It can be done while the woman is fully conscious.
Yeah, but you see, when it comes to doctors, there are people who have blind faith in doctors. And let's face it, not everyone goes to the hospital is literate or well-read or exposed. Most of them think that once the doctor says it, first of all, they think everyone that wears a gown is a doctor. And they believe that once he says, I have to do ABCD, it has to be done. They don't even ask why this procedure? Why do I have to be out? You know, they don't ask questions.
This stinks. This case stinks.
It is.
Well,
yeah,
anyway,
so
they've arrested him, and I would hope that they throw the book at him. And,
they should, as they should.
Throw away the key.
Yeah.
This is so if. Woo!
And
I just feel so sorry for the women and also their husbands.
Of course. But yeah, I know how that feels like.
Think of how that's going to affect the relationship.
And how long has he been doing this?